Okay, so good evening, everyone. I've started a new role a couple of months ago, and one of the first things they asked me to do was to help prepare some reports for some clients. And guess what software they use currently to prepare, or they had been using to prepare client reports? That's right, Excel. So who here uses Excel every day? Who here knows somebody who uses Excel every day on their team? Most people. It's quite a popular tool for data analysis. This is what they were doing with Excel. So they had these massive pivot tables with the pivots at the top, and I'll just zoom in for a bit more detail. They were creating rankings, so they just copy and drag that all the way down, change one factor, look for the client along here, and each client would have its own beautifully formatted Excel chart, and they look for along and find the parameter they were looking for and insert, whatever rank they were, and then go back to this, change something else, find what rank they were, go back here and do that. That took a while. In fact, it would take about 3 hours for each client. And so they'd only do it for maybe their top 30 clients out of 200. That still took a while. So they asked if that was something that I could help with. And I said, yeah, I think that, that improvements could be made here. I use a tool that's not Excel. I use Alteryx, which is a data processing and automation tool. And that can do this quite easily for them, I thought. So here's a picture of my Alteryx, part of my Alteryx workflow. It's doing all the rankings. It just makes a massive list of all the rankings and for each different combination of products. And then it's able to split out for Bank A. Let's group all these together, and that's one file. For Bank B, we'll output that into a different file. And that's it running. It doesn't actually look like that when it's running. That's just for dramatic purposes. It also takes about 3.5 hours to run through the 200 clients. And just a reminder that it took 3 hours just to run for one client when they were doing it manually. And by the way, that of those 3.5 hours, it probably takes about 5 minutes to actually generate the rankings and output it. What takes the other 3 hours and 20 minutes is doing all that Excel formatting, making it look pretty so that somebody can print out into an A4 sheet of paper, or in the case of some clients, run a macro to undo everything I've done already and get it back into the machine-readable format. So that's the VBA script. I realized that perhaps getting Alteryx to do all that formatting in Excel is probably a bit tricky, given that Alteryx doesn't do Excel formatting, but Excel does its own formatting using VBA. So I ran this VBA script, and I'm not a coder, so the thing with Alteryx is you don't need coding skills. So that's drag and drop like Tableau, and I was able to enlist some help from some colleagues to write the VBA, write the script that runs the VBA. So what I've done is I've given a pretty similar layout. I've made a few minor changes. I've also put a sheet behind so that anybody who wants to run it in Tableau or do any sort of other analysis with it is able to do that with the sheet behind, but anybody who doesn't click that far will still be able to print that off on their A4 sheet. And that's it. Any questions?